The vanishing motel room. It was just after midnight when Darren's old Honda sputtered and died on a lonely stretch of highway. The night was thick with fog, the kind that seemed to swallow headlights whole. His phone showed no service. With no other choice, he started walking. After what felt like forever, he spotted a flickering neon sign through the mist. Hillcrest Motel, vacancy. Relieved, Darren pushed through the squeaky glass door. Inside, the air smelled like old carpet and cigarettes. The night clerk, a pale man with sunken eyes, didn't greet him, just slid a yellowed sign-in sheet across the counter. Room 6, the clerk rasped. Cash only. Darren handed him a few crumpled bills and was given a tarnished brass key. The room 6 looked wrong. The wallpaper was peeling in long strips. The bed sagged in the middle, the sheets stained. A lone lamp buzzed in the corner, but Darren was exhausted. He set his backpack down and collapsed onto the mattress. At 3:17 a.m., he woke suddenly. The air was freezing. The lamp was off, though he'd left it on. He reached for his phone, but it wasn't on the nightstand. Neither was his bag. Both were gone. A scratching sound came from the bathroom. Long, deliberate scrapes against the mirror. Darren's chest tightened. He forced himself up and pushed the bathroom door open. The mirror was fogged, though the room was icy cold. 4 words had been traced into the glass. We took your things. The hallway heart. Hammering, Darren stormed out of the room, but the hallway stretched much longer than it had before. Endless. Lined with identical doors. The numbers on the doors weren't right. 7, 8, 9, then 6 again. He spun around. The hallway behind him had changed too. Now both directions stretched into infinity, lined with doors that all read Room 6. One door creaked open by itself. Inside, Darren could see his backpack on the bed. He stepped inside. The door slammed shut. The tapes. This wasn't his room anymore. The wallpaper was gone, replaced with bare concrete. A single chair faced an old TV and VCR. His backpack sat on the floor, unzipped. Inside, instead of his things, were 3 VHS tapes labeled in smeared black marker. Tape 1, check in. Tape 2, Room 6. Tape 3, your end. Darren's shaking hands shoved tape 1 into the VCR. On screen, grainy footage of himself earlier that night, walking into the Hillcrest Motel. The pale clerk stared into the camera as Darren checked in. He ejected it and jammed in tape 2. The footage was of him, sleeping in rooms. The camera zoomed slowly toward his face as he tossed and turned. Then, a tall shadow leaned over his bed, its fingers impossibly long. Darren hadn't seen it in real life, but it had been there. He dropped the tape, sweating, panic surging. The third tape lay on the floor like it was waiting. Tape 3, he pressed play. The end. The screen showed a timestamp, 3:17 a.m. The current time. Footage flickered on. Himself, in this concrete room, sitting in the chair watching the TV, only in the footage. Something stood behind him, a pale figure with sunken eyes. Its mouth stretched wider and wider until it split into a grin that filled the screen. The motel clerk. Darren froze, Slowly, he turned his head. The clerk was there in the room, inches from his face, whispering in a voice like dried leaves. "Check out time." The lights went out. No one ever saw Darren again. And if you drive Highway 34 on a foggy night, locals say you might still see the neon Hillcrest sign flickering in the distance. But if you step inside, you'll never check out.